Whenever we read the New Testament, we might be a little surprised when we come to the part where the gospel is proclaimed to the nations and to the Gentiles. You see, from Exodus all the way up and through the Gospels, most of the attention is given to Judah and Israel as God's people, and through that nation, God is planning on blessing the nations. And so, whenever we finally get to Paul and his missions, we see a man who is very determined to proclaim the gospel to all the world. And so we might wonder, what was Paul's vision for himself? Or what was God's vision for Paul? How is it that he thought of his mission? Why did he go progressively further and further into the world and pushing the gospel to the outermost reaches of the known world of his day? Well, I think part of it is that he knew his Old Testament. There were parts of the Old Testament that tell us about God's plan to include the nations as those who worship him. At the end of Isaiah 66, we have the most explicit and most astounding prophecy about the inclusion of the nations among God's people. In Isaiah 66 and verse 18, he says, I am coming to gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory, and I will set a sign among them. From them I will send survivors to the nations, to Tarshish, Put, and Lud, to Meshech, Tubal, and Javan, and to the coastlands far away, who have not heard of my fame or seen my glory. And they shall declare my glory among the nations. And they shall bring all your kindred from all the nations as an offering to the Lord, on horses and in chariots and in leaders and on mules and on dromedaries, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, says the Lord. Just as the Israelites bring a grain offering in a clean vessel to the house of the Lord. And I will also take some of them as priests and as Levites, says the Lord. This is such an astounding prophecy for so many reasons, that the God's glory and his presence will be proclaimed to the farthest reaches of the known world, to places like Tarshish, which we believe is in modern-day Spain or Portugal. And sure enough, in Paul's letter to the Romans, he says he plans on going on a mission all the way to Spain to proclaim the gospel. So it's so amazing to us that we are those nations who are afar off, who are included, whom God's glory has shown to us. And so we have every reason to be thankful and in awe that this is a plan for all the way back from before time and prophesied even 700 years before Christ lived.